Just want to remind you guys you're listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, this city. This is an RGV Rocks exclusive, along with Scarlett Rose and my co-host,
Rock and Rudy. How we doing?
Hey, and welcome to RGV Rocks. But reminder, this is an exclusive interview with the one and only John Paris. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great.
I just want to remind you guys that you're listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. If you guys want to donate to the station, I'll be leaving the donation link in the description below. And let's move forward to the show. So, John Paris, you have a screening at Cine Array this Tuesday. Is that correct?
It is, yes. Tuesday at 7, correct.
Do you mind talking to us a little bit about the event that's coming up? I know it's involving your dad and whatnot, so I want to give you the floor to explain a little bit about this event.
Okay, sure. Well, this is part of Cine Array has had a 75-year anniversary of opening up the theater there, and March is a historical month. And so they want to kind of put the cherry on top of the whole deal with screening my documentary, Andy Paris, Bubblegum King. My father was dubbed the Bubblegum King by Life magazine back in 1947, and he lived here in McAllen. It's a story that I wanted to bring to McAllen and the Valley. And I did. It's now a film that is available worldwide on all platforms.
All right.
That is too awesome. And once again, what was the title of the movie again?
Andy Paris, Bubblegum King.
Andy Paris, Bubblegum King. I know. I was just thrilled when I heard that we were going to have the son of Bubblegum King in the show there. And John Paris, you've done a lot of great things right now, and I know you've already dropped the second album. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I've got I go under the moniker of Paris Music Corporation, and I just released an album. It's been getting some good press. A PR firm picked me up and ran with me a bit, and got the word out. I'm just continually wanting to get the word out because I just moved from Austin, Texas to Brownsville. I'm now in Brownsville. McAllen was my hometown where I grew up, but found the best deal for myself here in Brownsville as far as land goes and all that. And I've got to rebuild a studio here in Brownsville.
Oh my gosh, a studio. Oh wait, is it the studio for your music?
Right. Yeah, I had one in my home. I had one in my home in Austin, which I left behind. Austin got kind of expensive to live in, and it's been kind of a struggle for a lot of the artists up there. I see it every day in my feeds and Facebook and such. And finally, I sold off the house I had in Austin, and I plunked myself down here in Brownsville.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, that's good. I mean, but at least you're still in the Valley. That's the good thing about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm 30 minutes from South Padre Island. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. They just finished having an awesome concert too.
Oh, with 3 Days Grace, right?
3 Days Grace.
Yeah.
They were out there. A bunch of our friends were out there, and they said it was just truly an amazing show. So I was like, all right. But hey, back to you, Mr. Paris. So let me ask you something. Being the Bubblegum King, back like you said, your dad was in Life and Time magazine, right?
In Life magazine, yeah.
In 1945?
1947.
47.
Yeah, February. Yeah, the February 1st, 47 issue came out, and everybody in McAllen finally figured out who this guy was, because you have this guy here. I mean, you have McAllen. And most everybody here is in the citrus or in the farming community, and you have this guy from Detroit, the city slicker, walking around in 3-piece suits, looking like he's dressed to the nines, ready for a party. And they'd always wonder, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And when that Life magazine hit, everybody knew who this guy was because he had a full-page picture.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I saw that cover that was sent to me about that, where he's standing outside with a big old balloon of bubble gum, right? Should I say? And that I thought that was just like awesome on that one. That yeah, that was good. That was good.
Oh my gosh. Going into that actually, John, so how did you think about coming up with this documentary? Because it took you a while to realize that your dad was the bubblegum king, and then you looked into like who your dad really was, and then finding out about that from like magazines and whatnot. How did you come up with a concept to, you know, make the documentary about him?
Well, a lot of people over the years had expressed interest in it. I had, you know, as far back as the late 80s, I had a person, you know, sit me down and tell me, you've got to do a film on this, because they had just met my father, and it was a roommate of mine who was you know, very enthusiastic about the story, and was very enthusiastic about film. He ended up being a line producer in New York for years doing stuff. Actually, he called me in '96 and wanted to propose the idea of a documentary, but unfortunately, his father and my father passed away right within a few months of each other, and everything just kind of died on the vine there. Had another gentleman there from McAllen want to go through PBS and wanted to try to you know, start something out that way. He ended up getting very ill and passed away. It was like all these, it's amazing, all these people just started passing away who were wanting to get involved in this deal. So had another person approach me, and I said, okay, well, let's go for it. This will be our first film, and we're going to learn along the way. And it was really a pretty bumpy road. It took a long time to get it finished from beginning to end. About well, I guess 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is one heck of a good documentary there. Let me put it to you that way. I bet you've got a lot of great, interesting footage in it, right?
It does. There's a lot of historical footage, you know, of McAllen, and a lot of you know, good photographs that we, you know, manipulated. So you know, we did a lot of still manipulation, kind of like that you'll see done in professional productions. And then of course there's a lot of there's color footage from McAllen that looks pretty incredible from '47. So
wow, I can't wait to see that. I would definitely love to see that. And that's going to be this Tuesday, correct?
That's correct. Tuesday at 7 p.m. there at Cine El Rey.
All right, Miss Scarlett Rose, what you
yes.
got to say?
Was it pretty hard getting everybody together for this documentary? Because it took you 12 years to make the documentary itself.
That's right. Well, yes. Let's look back here. Was there crowdfunding? Was there Facebook in 2005? No. So you try to imagine what it was like trying to get people together back then. I had a team of my associate producer, Luke Garza, who's from Edinburgh. He put a team together of people using ancestry.com, trying to find people, and he found them. He did really well. You know, it was great and exciting being able to know that we were able to find people that we didn't know their whereabouts for, you know, 50 years, whatever. So that was awesome. But the film had some issues. It had some trouble. Ultimately, I had to move on from my starting partner and finish it on my own with another editor and co-director. The other co-director is Gabriel Ramirez. He's from he teaches at the he teaches drama at the PSJA early college school, and he is my co-director.
Oh my gosh, it's wow. I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, hold up. So this dude teaches high school, and then he's also a co-director. That's so cool.
Yeah, and editor. Yeah, he's great. I mean, he really he really helped out the documentary immensely. He's a fantastic guy. And you know, right before we released the documentary in 2017, his crew there, his drama crew, won state. So he was really on cloud nine, you know, when and just a few days after that, then he was up in Austin, and we were screening there at the Hispanic Cultural Center there, and then also we screened at the Bob Bullock History Museum, which was great on the big screen there. It's fantastic. So,
oh, nice. I mean, it's truly amazing how the way you were able to get all this footage, or not only just footage, but a great knowledge of all the people in the back, like the way you did, and then with your dad being who he is, and I can just truly imagine how magically historical all that is. You know what I mean?
it is. It's kind of like I mean, really, the story was locked up in a closet for years. Nobody had. You have to remember that, or think about it in this way, that it all happened before the advent of television. It all these were the radio years. Okay, so there was so it was forgotten. It was a long forgotten story, but I mean, he was huge. He was astronomically famous. I mean, he was most photographed man of the year like 2 years in a row, and you know, dated starlets, dated Marilyn Monroe. So,
wow. Real nice, real nice. I can't wait to see this. This is gonna be truly great. I can tell you.
I mean,
Rudy, once you see the documentary, it's really nice. I got to see it the first time. That's how I met John Paris back in Sonora when that was premiering.
Yeah, and he lived, you know, years ago. The Casa de Palmas had these little cabanas that were in behind the place. They're long demolished. I think they demolished them around 1980. But that's where my dad was living when he was dubbed Bubblegum King. That's where he'd go home every day. That was his home, Casa de Palmas. They rented out little cabanas in the back. They're like little, you know, ground floor type, you know, places that they'd rented out to people. And that's where he was living.
Yeah. I was going to mention on this interview specifically because I wanted to bring this up for a long time, even especially when I watched the documentary. If you guys know where Trapped RGV is, that was the original. I think it's the factory where they made the bubble gum, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. That Trapped room there. That's it at 609 West Highway. It's there at the old 83 and 6th Street, right there on the corner. That's it. That's the factory.
So if anyone is listening and wants to go check it out, it's right there in Trapped RGV. It's like the building right there.
Yeah, it's got the historical marker there that we got there on in 2013. It was really, you know, the city put a really nice little program together to unveil it, and a surprise MC from Letty Garza, who actually I went to high school with. That was a really great. That was a really nice scene there. It was awesome. Put that together.
One quick question before we end the exclusive interview with you, John Paris. I just noticed that it was a community engagement screening. How is it going to work with Sino Ray? Is it going to be a Q&A, or how is that going to work?
You know, at this time, Q&A is to be determined. We haven't made a final decision on whether there's going to be a Q&A like that. That's a game time decision, you know, for tomorrow. But there very well could be. You know, if we have the kind of turnout, we'll, you know, that I'd like to see, maybe we'll do a Q&A. But I'd be glad to do it if it turns out that way.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
I was waiting for you to like talk for a second, because I was like, I know Rudy wants to talk for a bit.
I'm just amazed on the, we actually have, I mean, I'm gonna change your name, Mr. John Paris, to the Bubble King Jr. Sons, you know, or the Bubble King's the Bubblegum King's son. There you go. That's what it is. Because I mean, I'm just amazed, because I remember when I was younger, growing up and going to Ben Milam Elementary right there off of Dolana.
Sure.
And one of the teachers was talking about the Bubblegum King. And I remember that in elementary, because I actually did a report on your dad, the Bubblegum King, way back in the day, and it just
Really?
like the way you said, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, amazed that look how long it's been, and I finally get to meet the son of the legend, the Bubblegum. It's like,
That's
God, I want to go
cool.
buy me some bubblegum.
That is awesome. That's awesome. I went to Milam. That's where I went. Yeah. I went through the
I lived
whole.
at the Nolana Apartments right across the street, so I was never
Sure.
late to school. Never late
Of
to school
course.
because of that.
Of course.
was
No, well, you bet. That's a backdrop behind playing soccer and baseball, all the time there when I was a kid. Absolutely.
Wow, it is a small world after all, isn't it?
It is. Yes, sir. It is.
Rudy's such in like starstruck mode right now. He's like, oh
I
my
am.
gosh.
I'm normally I talk more. I'm really more talkative, to tell you the truth, but it's just like, wow. And you actually do look like your dad. You know what I mean?
That's quite the compliment. That is an incredible compliment. I appreciate that. He's one handsome guy, so I appreciate the compliment.
I want to remind everyone that as we're ending the interview for our show, especially with John Perez, I want to remind everybody that tomorrow is going to be the showing for the Bubblegum King of Andy Paris documentary. It'll be shown at Cine El Rey, 311 South 17th McAllen, Texas. That's going to be the doors open at 6:30 p.m., but the event will be at 7 p.m. So be sure to check it out if you guys are in the area.
I was about to say, Scarlet Rose, if you don't know where that address is, boy, you in trouble.
That's right, man.
What's it
called?
For a minute,
so you were like, wait a minute, what's my address again?
Yeah, I know. I know. The thing is, I've already had to memorize that address, like I think a couple of times, and I still forget it sometimes because I even asked my dad, like, hey, what's the address to Cine?
It's only been here like 60 years. You know?
Yeah. Oh, and the bubblegum plant's 75th anniversary of opening is this year as well. It's October 1st. Yep.
That's my birthday.
It is? It's your birthday?
I think we're gonna have to get back
together. Mine's October 3rd.
Oh my gosh.
My birthday's October 3rd. Yeah. So, yep, that's right. Both of them opened. I think it's really interesting. The El Rey, the King, and then you've got the Bubblegum King plant, opening on October 1st. It's very interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to make one hell of a shot on that one there.
What's it called, John? Do you want to send a quick shout out before we leave for this interview?
Sure. Well, I just want to thank you all for having me today. I really appreciate it. Glad to know that we have a local radio station there with you guys shining bright there. And I hope that everybody can come out and check out Andy Paris Bubblegum King Tuesday at screening time 7 p.m. at the Cine El Rey.
Hey, okay. I'll probably be there. I'm not quite sure yet because I've got stuff to do this week. So I'm like, if I'm there, be sure to check us out. What's it called? We'll probably be going live if I'm there. So I'm gonna be doing more in-person events too. So just look out for me this summer for anybody that's listening. All right, Rudy.
There you go.
Shout outs.
Well, I want to send a shout out, of course, to my two beautiful girls, Drenna and Dre, and also to my grandson, Carson. He's a little man running around all over the place. And Mr. John Paris, it is a real pleasure meeting you, sir, really.
Too, man.
Can't wait till I do meet you in person. And I know it's for me, it's going to be a jaw dropper. And I'll probably wind up with having gum in my mouth when you see me, okay? So.
All right, there you go. In the spirit, as all times, eh? All right.
There you go. And to all the listeners out there, thank you very much for tuning in to 97.7 FM The City. Miss Scarlet Rose?
All right. If you guys want to check us out, learn more about what we do on our show, and this is just the exclusive. So if you guys want to have want to see the full interview with John Paris, be sure to tune in Thursday at 7 p.m. to, go in more depth about who John is. His music is coming out. Well, it came out with an actual album. So if you want to learn more about that, be sure to tune in on Thursday, not Tuesday. I'm sorry about that. That's the screening. But if you guys want to learn more about what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Thank you so much, John Paris, for joining us here on our exclusive interview with you for the screening. Oh,
thank you, John.
Okay, I was expecting him to say something for a second, but it's fine. It's fine. I especially want to remind everyone, thank you for listening to our humble show. We'll be here on Thursday on KCYP 97.7 FMLP, The City.